Let's talk about embellishing chords. If you feel like your chords sound uninspired and dull, don't worry, we got you covered. In this guide, we are going to unlock 10 creative and exciting ways to transform your playing. Of course, D tabs and sound slice tabs are available on my Patreon page, so if you need extra support, go check it out. First stop is the hammer-on technique. A hammer-on is when you strike a string and then press down firmly on a fret with the finger of your fretting hand to produce a second note without plucking the string again. So imagine this. You're playing C major, A minor, F major 7, and G6. Let's embellish these chords with the hammer-on technique. For the C major, we're gonna hammer fret 2 with the middle finger. We're gonna do the same thing for the A minor chord. For the F major 7th chord, we're gonna do the hammer-on on the 3rd string with the middle finger. And we're gonna do the same thing for the G6. We're gonna hammer fret 4. I'm gonna be using a hybrid picking pattern, so I'm holding the pick and I'm picking 3 strings, the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string with the pick, but also I'm gonna be using my middle finger to pluck the 2nd and the 3rd string. For the next technique, we have to give a huge shout out to the legendary Jimi Hendrix. He showed us the magic of embellishing chords in 2 iconic ways. The first is about coloring the chords with the 4th or the major 6th. And the second is all about moving from the root to the 3rd of the chord with a smooth slide. For example, let's say we are in the key of E major and we're playing around with 4 chords: E major, B major, C sharp minor, and A major. We can embellish these chords with the 4th and the 6th. We need like specific chord shapes. For example, with the sus4. For the B major, we can play the chord like this. I like to use the thumb to play the bass and then just a triad on 3 strings. And here we have 2 options: the major 6th, played on the 2nd string with the pinky, or the 4th on the 3rd string, played still with the pinky. So we have 2 colors, they're beautiful. For the C sharp minor, I like to play the C sharp minor 7th chord, Hendrix style, so the bass is played with the thumb. And then you can hammer the F sharp on the 3rd string. Be careful with the A major here. We can only use the major 6th and not the suspended. I mean, you can, but in this case, we're only going to use the major 6th. You can also slide from the root note to the 3rd of the chord, passing through the major 2nd. So E major, B major. We don't do this for the C sharp minor. A major. talk about Travis picking, a technique named after the legendary Merle Travis. This fingerstyle wizard brought a whole new groove to guitar by playing a bass line with the thumb while playing the top strings with the index and the middle finger. We're going to use the thumb to play the 5th string, the 4th string, and then also the 6th string, fret number 7. So we're going to alternate the bass note of this dominant 7th chord from the root to the 5th. Now with this pattern we can play a regular 12-bar blues by using the same chord shapes. So E dominant 7th, A dominant 7th here on fret 12, but also B dominant 7th on fret 14. Now I'm gonna play the example. Enjoy this incredible technique and let me know if you love it. I think this is one of my favorite techniques to use on the acoustic guitar. Now let's dive into the world of color chords. By definition, color chords are chords that go beyond the basic major and minor shapes, adding notes that bring out new emotions and textures. Chords like major 7th or minor 7th, but also major 9. Beautiful sounding chords, or 6/9 chords, minor 9. I mean, we can use quite a lot of colors. Now, in the example I'm about to play, I'm gonna be using 4 chords: E major, C sharp minor, A major, and A minor. Beautiful chord progression, but as you can see, we're gonna, we're gonna use a lot of different chord families. For example, now let's have fun with natural harmonics. These little gems can turn your chords into sparkling, magical soundscapes. Here's the trick. Lightly touch the string directly over the 12th, 7th, or 5th fret and pluck the string. Now we can use natural harmonics with chords like, for example, the G major and a C major 7th. We only fret one note, the base of the chord, and then we're going to use the pinky, the little finger, to play natural harmonics like Let's spice things up with suspended chords. Now, suspended chords are chords played without the third, so they don't carry either a major or minor character, hence they are called suspended. Now, to play a sus4 chord, you raise the third of the chord a half step to the fourth. So for a C major, you will go from the note E to F. To play a sus2 chord, you bring the third of the chord a whole step down, so 2 frets down, from the third of the chord E to the major second D. Now you can add a simple picking pattern and you're good to go. Now, in the next example, we're going to combine fretted notes with open strings. And you might think, like we do that all the time, right? Just think about playing a D major chord. We're playing open strings, the A and the D string, and then fretted notes. But the idea here is that we move the fretted notes up the neck. And so we can create an incredible and beautiful contrast between the fretted note and the open string. Now, the idea is that the fretted notes sound higher than the open string, like this beautiful D sus2 chord. You see, the first open string adds so much color to this chord. Now you can add different bass notes. Let's add some serious drama to your progressions with the secondary dominant chords. So imagine this. You are cruising along in the key of G major, and then all of a sudden, you throw in an unexpected B7th before playing an E minor chord. In this case, the B dominant 7 functions as a dominant chord, so chord 5 of E minor. So we have 1 G major, secondary dominant 5 B dominant 7, and 1 E minor. Secondary dominants add color and movement to your progressions, creating a sense of surprise and drama that keeps your listeners hooked. Let me play the example with a few secondary dominant chords. Now here's where the real magic happens. take your chords on a journey across the neck by using the chord tones as stepping stones. This technique is all about analyzing the notes within the chord, the root, the third, the fifth, and even extensions, and gliding between them to create smooth, connected movements. Just think about the C major chord, C, E, and G. Now we can play these three notes in many different ways, like C major, like this, or in A shape, in G shape, in E shape, in D shape, right? So there are all these, caged shapes you can use to identify the chord and play it like this in different positions of the neck. But the goal here is to do it melodically. And so instead of playing the whole thing, we do it like 2 or 3 strings at a time. Then you can do it with other chords like F major. A minor, and G major, and back to C major. Now, last but not least, let's add a moving melody within the chord. So you can take your chords to the next level by creating a melody within the chord itself. And this technique is all about moving the singing note, the top note of the chord, to craft a melody that shines above your strumming or finger picking. Let's play in C major here. You can use the C major scale. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know if you like it in the comment section down below. And most importantly, what's your favorite technique? How are you going to spice up your chords? Let me know in the comment section down below. Remember, if you need the tab and sound slice tabs, they're all available on my Patreon page. Enjoy this lesson, and I'll see you next time.